Hello, welcome to this tutorial on how to use the user login for the Grandstream 6204 phone system. So if you are one of my clients, I would have sent you this information if you wanted to use the Grandstream Wave application, or if you specifically asked me for access to the portal. So once you've received this, you'll see the account name. That should be your name, just to verify I've sent you the right one. It should have the user portal IP address. This IP address is specific to each customer, and depending on the network that we have set up there. It'll have your login ID, which should be the same as your actual extension number, and the user portal login password, which when you receive this would actually be visible. Below that, you'll have the QR code information. You will actually see some QR codes displayed here. For the sake of the video, I've actually just removed them. So moving over to the actual portal, I would take this address and paste it into the address bar at the top. And once you paste that, it's going to bring you to the login screen, which I should have had prepared here. This is the login screen, and although I'm logged in as the admin, I'm going to click down to 100, so you would have just entered 100 and your password. So this is the portal. I get most requests regarding how to send faxes and how to check voicemails. This is just a demo account I've set up, because in a couple areas in here you'll actually see passwords and whatnot, which I wouldn't want to share on YouTube. So you'll see those passwords. This entire account is going to be deleted at the end of this video, so I'm not worried about you seeing any passwords. But because the two most requested things are how to check a fax, or how to send a fax, that is, and how to check your voicemail, those are the two things I'll cover right off the bat. So here you'll see voicemails. If there was a voice message here, you would see the message, you would see the phone number from the call, the time the call came in, and then you would have options on the right to either listen to it, to download it, or delete it. And then you can actually go through here and use this portal to record your different greetings. So actually, I'm sorry, not record, to upload if you have professionally recorded greetings. If you're just recording the greeting for your voicemail, you do that through the phone directly. So moving again next to faxing, fax sending. This is a wonderful option. I use this extensively through our phone system here, and it just, you type in the number you want. What am I doing here? 204. That's my fax number. Actually, it's not my fax number. When you send a document, it has to be configured correctly, and that correct configuration is going to mean no spaces at all, no special characters, just the words. You can use underscores, you can use hyphens, but it has to just be the words, just like this demo fax. So once you select the file, assuming you've got the number entered already, there is nothing else to do. You don't need to click send, you don't need to say go, anything like that. You can see automatically it is sending. Here's the progress. It is going to fail, as a side note, because I put in my my office number. So right now my phone system, because I went and misconfigured this, is calling my phone system and is hearing my greeting saying you've called Costwise. That's my phone number for my fax. I'm going to do the same thing here, and we should see a second one come up, and this one will be successful. It does take a few moments. What's going to happen here is this one is going to try for a while. It will eventually time out. It's going to try, time out. When it fails, try again, try again, try again. So this one, I think it's 3 attempts it'll make. This one here, we'll probably see it go through shortly. So we're going to just let that do its thing. Because this goes to my fax to email server, we are eventually going to see an email come in down in the bottom right corner telling me when the fax has arrived. So we'll know when that's complete, and we'll come back to it. If that's all that you've come here to find out about, is voicemail and fax, using this to send faxes, that's all you need to see. If you want to see the rest of the information, I'm going to try and cover everything that I can, everything I can think about using in this tutorial, using in this portal, and it can probably carry on for quite a while. So your choice. Okay, moving on. Wake up service. This is actually something which is built in from the hotel services, which are also built into the phone system. There's no, if you just get the phone system without the hotel applications and services, there's a whole side of this phone system that you're missing, which is irrelevant for most businesses. For example, wake up calls, entering in when rooms are occupied and whatnot. But this system can actually handle small hotels as well. I'm not sure I would recommend it for a large hotel, mostly because I don't think I've really have enough experience with large hotels to know if this would be sufficient. So you could enter in, the name of the wake up service, which extension to call, and because I'm logged in as extension 100, I can only call extension 100. If I were the administrator, I could put in whichever extension I want to. Prompts, I can go through here and I could leave it just as wake up call, or if I wanted to, I could have a custom recording applied with something like, for example, say it's lunchtime or whatever. Custom date, so it is Tuesday, whatever time. I'm not actually going to save this. And you can set the alarm for whenever you want a wake-up call. It's not really a wake-up call in this situation, it's just an alarm. Do not disturb whitelist. So say, for example, you are expecting an important call from one of your coworkers and you really need to make that receive that phone call. You could come in here and add a I'm sorry, I think I went to the wrong screen here. Oh, here we go. So once I turn on Do Not Disturb, I can enter in the extension or the phone number of the person that I want to make sure they reach me, as well as I can add a whitelist to forward the call. So if I'm leaving the office and I only want certain calls to be forwarded to me, I can use this service here. So certain extensions or external numbers. We'll get to all these settings in a few moments. I'm just going to continue to work my way through here. No call transfer. So this is, I guess we're getting back to extensions again. The no call transfer it's really just this setting here. Call forwarding unconditional, call forwarding no answer, call forwarding busy, and you can set up where you want it to go to. So unconditional means no matter what, it's just immediately forwarding this call to whichever extension. Conditions are either all the time, or if you've configured if the administrator has configured office time, holiday, out of office, if the administrator's configured those times, they can choose that, or you can use specific time, and you would have to configure your specific time here yourself. All right, going back here again. So say, for example, I had a bunch of phone calls that I had missed. I could see my entire call history in the no answer section right here. Being as this is just a test system that I have set up, a test extension to be able to demo some of the things, you see nothing here. But really the only thing that would be here would be an exhaustive list of all the phone calls that have been missed on your extension. Moving over to Follow Me. Follow Me is a really great option to simply call forwarding calls. And it's far more intelligent. So if we enable this, I'm just going to work my way going back and forth from top to bottom. SIP trunk authorization, you don't need to worry about that. Honestly, I don't know why that's in the portal here. That's more of an administrative function, and changing this setting could, depending on the configuration, could cause you to not be able to actually forward out those calls. Music on hold class. So the default is the default music that's on the system. Ringback tone is the actual sound of the actual ringer sound, ringing tone. In some of the setups we have the name of the business. So for example, if Costwise was here and we had custom music that we had uploaded to the system, you would see default ringback tone and then the name of your business, and you would choose the name of your business so that when the person's being forwarded out to your cell phone and they're hearing the on-hold music. It's your custom branded music. Confirm when answering. Best option of this whole service is right here, this confirm when answering. You'll hear a voice when it forwards out to your cell phone, for example. You'll hear a voice saying, press 1 to accept the call or press 2 to reject it. So it doesn't matter if you receive the call and just ignore it, if it goes to your cell phone's voicemail or what happens with that call. Something has to press 1 to confirm that you want to accept that call before the system is going to actually send the call through to you. The reason why that's important is in this next section, the system wants to know if you don't answer or if you reject the call, where should we send this? Should we just send this back to the voicemail for extension 100? If you can't take it and it's during the day and we think, oh, this is probably an important call, should we send it to KLS or office administrator? Should we send it to the office admin? Should we send it to a ring group for service or sales? Back to the IVR, should they try a different external number? Whatever option is here is where you can send it. I would say most people are sending it just to their own voicemail. However, lots of great options on how to do call management. So how this works is we pick some numbers here. Now this is kind of a standard setup for me. We've got it set up with this configuration to dial an external number after 10 seconds, and it will dial this number. The reason why I chose 10 seconds and why I use that number frequently is because if I'm sitting at my desk and I've got 10 seconds to answer a phone call, that's more than enough. If I know that the customer is going to then be forwarded to my cell phone, then I know that I don't want them to be forwarded to my cell phone and then wait another 30 seconds, so then 40 seconds total before they reach me. However, it is also possible to turn this option on to have it ring along with previous extension number, so that actually no, I'm getting ahead of myself here. There is an option here that I'll show you to actually have your cell phone ring simultaneously with your phone extension every time you get a phone call without ever having that 10-second delay. However, you can also set this for so again, we'll do external. In this configuration with this option, ring along with previous extension, it's going to ignore this 30 seconds. And if we add this, you're going to see it now shows it's going to ring both of these numbers for 30 seconds. I'm sorry, it's not ignoring the 30 seconds, it's ignoring the 10-second delay. It's not going to go from one to the next to the next. It's going to go from your extension. After 10 seconds, it will then call both of these numbers. So for example, this could be your cell phone number and this could be your home number, just in case you're working from home. And both numbers, whichever one you answer, you'll hear that message, press 1 to accept the call, press 2 to reject it. So if you're just about to walk into a meeting, or if you're just about to step out of the house, and you don't want to answer a call because something's happening and you can't take the call, you can always reject it. So we're just going to cancel that because we don't need to save it. Conferences, say for example you want to set up a conference call. My apologies, I don't know that I can set up a conference call through there, and I'm not sure that the individuals can set up conferences. I think this is only available if I've set you up as the admin, if I've set you up with conference functions. So personal configuration information, this is just, you don't even need to use this, but you can put in the department that you're in, your fax number, home number, mobile. You can enter in some of that info if you want to. It doesn't impact much at all. Extension. So this is where many of the user information services bounced us over to, is the actual extension. You could change your password for your SIP phone. Again, if you do that, you're probably it's not gonna work anymore. You can see your voicemail password. You can change and reset your voicemail password. If you have a password here that was originally set up by the administrator and then you've changed the password, I don't believe that any changes you make through the phone come back and populate this field. So if you can't remember your password, this probably is not it. What you'd need to do is enter a new password, click save, click apply, and then you'll be good to go. Optionally, you have the ability to just do skip voicemail password verification. So when you dial the *97 from your extension, it's going to put you directly into your voicemail. Let's see, language. There's only 2 languages that come default with the system. However, there's about 17 or so languages that can be downloaded and added in case you or somebody in your office specifically, I have my installer / project manager, Mikhail, is Russian and prefers to have his language in Russian. It just is easier for him. Works great. Okay, so presence status, features which I'm not really currently using. You can come in here and through the portal, you can change it to do not disturb, to away, to chat, to unavailable. This is actually services which are great. They are here already, but the phone systems themselves are not currently, as of November 7th, 2017, they're not really set up yet to take full advantage of this. So I'm not really currently using that. As a matter of fact, if you change this to anything, I don't think it would impact your phone right now. I think that's a feature that's coming. So available, we've seen this, call forwarding unconditional, we've already talked about that. And all of these other statuses are what to do with the phone call depending on your presence status, how to manage it. So if you change on your phone, and right now, I guess I should clarify here, on the phone we can use star codes to change, and speed dial keys to change what your status is. But it's not going to transmit that information currently to other people. The goal, I believe, is that if you change these statuses on your phone, that other people will be able to see your status as well. But you can come into here and you can say that if I put the phone into chat only, that it's going to forward all calls direct to voicemail, for example. If I'm away, that it's going to forward all calls direct to my cell phone. So it gives you control over what to do depending on your status. Do not disturb. You can turn it on from here. You can also just press the do not disturb button on your phone. However, coming into here allows you to do the whitelist, which we've seen before. Ring simultaneously is the feature that I spoke about, where it's not going to wait 10 seconds to call your cell phone. It is just immediately going to call whatever number you put into here. The issue that I have with this one, it's not really an issue. The problem, though, is that you can only enter one number. So using the callee's DOD, direct outward dial number, so that would be using, if we've set you up on your extension with your own direct line, that would show then your caller ID for your dedicated direct line instead of the company's main line. And ring timeout, how many seconds will you let it ring before it goes to voicemail? Specific time we've already addressed as well. I don't need either of those, I'll just cancel. So here is the CDR for this extension. I'm actually surprised there's anything here. Mikhail must have been working on doing some tests and had just dialed extension 100 as a test, which is up until I set up this for testing here for this demo. Extension 100 didn't ring anywhere. It's the one I always delete after I do a demo. Regardless, you can come in here, you could listen to the recording files, you can download them, or you can delete the files. If you need to change your password for some reason, you can enter in your password, your current password. And this would be, if you think somebody's got your password and somebody's logging into your account maliciously, you can either send me a ticket if you're one of my customers, or you can log in here and take care of changing the password yourself. All right, so follow me, we've already gone over. Voicemail, we've gone over. Recording files is very similar to the CDR. Recording files is going to eliminate any calls where the phone rang but nobody answered, or calls that went to your voicemail. This is going to be only calls in here that were actually recorded, and only if you guys have call recording turned on. So if call recording is not turned on, you won't see anything here at all. Fax files actually just reminds me, first off, to pop over here and 204-615-2065. Oh, is it waiting? I bet it's waiting. Let's delete this. I'm just going to start this again. Proper number this time. And again, as soon as you select that file, it starts sending it right off the bat. Okay, so again, let's just leave that. We'll come back to it. The fax files, once this is sent, is going to show up in the fax files, so that you can have access to that file to send it again easily. So we just saw a little warning that came up here saying something like WebRTC is not supported on this extension. You do have to have the administrator set that up for you. WebRTC, RTC stands for real-time communication, is an extremely cool feature where you can actually set up a link on a website so that the person going to your website can click a button and say, I want to speak with James on his extension at 101. And through the browser, we're hoping, of course, that the customer has already configured a video camera and a microphone, otherwise it's just not going to work. But assuming they've got that video camera and microphone configured, they can actually just click on a button right through the website, and it will connect in through here and dial them into your phone, and you'll receive that just like a phone call, and it will get processed just like a phone call. So if you've got call forwarding turned on or the follow me, you might get a phone call on your cell phone, hopefully connected through Bluetooth while you're driving, that's coming in through your website. It's very cool. It's a feature which I haven't seen a lot of people using yet, because it is very new, not just to our phone systems, but to the world in general. WebRTC has been around for a while, but there's been a lot of issues with compliance, but I believe it's now all worked out and working beautifully. Call queue, I won't have anything to show you here because this account is not connected into any call queue. However, if you are working in one of the companies that has a call queue, you're able to come into here and actually see how many calls are waiting, how many calls are active, how many agents do you have, how many calls are abandoned. Lots of at-a-glance information. Wake up we've already talked about, and CRM, customer records management. So if you have, I believe right now there's only 2 databases supported, Sugar CRM and Salesforce. So if your company is using either Sugar or Salesforce, you're able to put in your user ID and your login credentials essentially, and anytime you make or receive a phone call, it will actually get logged into that service as well. And I'm not sure if it's working yet, but I believe the ideal situation is that you can have your web portal open. Both of these are only supported on the hosted versions of Sugar and Salesforce. And I believe the goal is that you can have that portal open when you receive a phone call. It will automatically pull that customer up in your database. Yeah, and I believe that is it. That's the entirety. You can close that or maximize if you want to. Change your language again up here. Oh, here's all the other languages I mentioned. And log out. Thanks for your time.